Hi guys, it's Dr. Pam and I'm here with this week's burning question, which is actually a spinoff of last week's burning question, which was a spinoff of the week burning question number 2. So if you remember last week, we talked about the FDA's update on the issue or the link between grain-free diets as well as dilatative cardiomyopathy or DCM. And at the end of that video, we talked about present food and what it's doing to the bodies of our dogs and how kibble is the most deficiency producing foodstuff that there is. And I got a huge response from you guys that I want to do something different. I don't know what to do. What's my next step? Tell me what to do. And I appreciate that, and I heard you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a baby step today, but I'm also going to assure you that I've almost got my email newsletter tech stack done, so we should have that out, and that will help give you weekly pieces of information to help you through some of your processing. The other thing is that we're working on the online course as well to go through what I'm going to go through in just a few minutes in more depth to help you understand how do I select the diet that's best for my dog. And because a lot of you said, oh my God, Dr. Pam, what do I do? Do I feed raw? Is that the best thing to feed? And 20 years ago, I would have said yes, hands down. When I started 20 years ago, we fed raw food. Maybe 3% of the dogs didn't do well on the raw food, and they were digestive dogs. But what's happened through the decades is that we are seeing more dogs getting more deficient, and puppies are coming in not being able to tolerate raw. Why? Raw food is a very awesome type of food because it is full of nutrients, it's full of vitamins and minerals, enzymes, everything that the body needs to function, right? But the problem is that the digestive status of the dogs of today are so much lower that they cannot assimilate it because it takes a powerful biochemistry to digest and assimilate raw food. It is the best diet on the market, but if you don't have the digestion for it, it doesn't do you any better than kibble does, okay? So that becomes a problem for us. So it doesn't mean that you can't feed raw food later. It means you have to meet them where they are and then slowly take them to where you want them to go. Now understand, there are going to be some older dogs or dogs with disease process that you're not going to be able to take way over here. You're going to have them in a happy middle, but you're going to be in the middle of a real food diet, and a real food diet is head and shoulders above a processed diet, okay? So let's talk about the 4 pillars that I'm gonna go in depth and teach you my formula for really assessing a dog and determining what category is going to be best for them. And the first thing that I do is I talk about age. In my brain, I've got that little tick. There's age right there. The second thing that I think about is what is their present nutrient state now? And there's a way to evaluate that, and that will be included in my new email newsletter. Whenever you sign up for that, you'll get that. It's a guide. It's a great guide that you can have on your computer to assess your dog, okay? So we'll have that. And the third thing that we look at is digestive strength. Where are we biochemically? What are the indicators? Where's our dog, so we can make sure that we match the right digestion to the right food to get the best response. And then finally, do we have any special considerations? Is there liver disease? Do we have to watch our protein with kidney disease or liver disease? What about fat? Do we have to watch our fat? How much veggie matter can we do? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that? There's a lot of special considerations that you look to, especially as your dog is aging and has disease issues. And so you really need to take those into consideration. So just throw them on a blanket diet with one size fits all is not going to work for everybody, okay? So that's why I say that. So the thing is that we feed whole food diets. What's that? Real food. When you look at the ingredient label, it has real food in it. You can actually pronounce it. You know what it is. You want meat, you want veggies, and you want organ meat. That's ideal. Now, if your dog has specific health issues, you're going to have to amend certain things and adjust for those specific health issues. And I really strongly encourage that you see a holistic vet to direct that. Older dogs generally don't do well on raw. It's usually the younger dogs that tend to do better, but not as well as they did 20 years ago. So when we look at the dogs of today and we say, what can I do now? Here's what you can do now. I use air-dried diets and dehydrated diets and freeze-dried diets, as well as home-cooked and raw as what we consider whole food diets. So I will use toppers, and toppers are these diets that we use kind of a sprinkle on top, like a little bit of parsley or whatever on some of our beautiful meals, or a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it really helps bring up the level of nutrition for your dogs. Now, the best ones to use for that are freeze-dried or air-dried, and some of the really good quality dehydrated, but not all, okay? And when you do that, a couple things to note. Number one, if your dog has a disease issue, don't go doing that without talking to your vet, because your dog may have protein restrictions or fat restrictions or things like that. The second thing is that when you add something to the top, you need to take something from the bottom. Remember that air-dried and freeze-dried are going to be more potent than your kibble diet. So you will remove more kibble than you put on top. Just start off with doing a dusting and see how they do, and then you can increase, and then you can slowly increase your topper and decrease your base diet and see how they do, and see if they're improving with that. That's a great first step. And by the way, when you get to whole food nutrition away from the processed nutrition, what you'll find is that you can actually change it up. You can feed a cooked diet, air-dried diet, freeze-dried diet, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. In most cases, you can do that without any problems because it's real food. Now, if you're looking at the label and there's ingredients that you can't pronounce, step away from that bag. If you can't pronounce it, don't feed it, and don't eat it if it's you, okay? So that's important to know as well. And the most important thing, if you forget everything else I say in this video that I want to say today, is never, ever, 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 please don't ever mix raw food with kibble. Now, I know what the bags say. I know what the companies say on their website. A little bit of raw is better than none. Not in this case, not in this environment. Our dogs are very digestively deficient. Raw food requires a strong biochemistry, whereas dry food creates a very minimal biochemistry. You put those together and it's a mushroom cloud, okay? And I can hear you out there who are saying, I've been doing this for years. I get that. I understand that. I'm telling you, you may not get vomiting and diarrhea right away, but you're going to have problems with that. It creates more deficiency more quickly. And I promise you, once we get the email newsletter up and going and you get that guide, you will have a way to assess that. You'll be able to look at your dog and say, I'm feeding this. Are they responding to it? Here are the 5 points. Okay? So I'm going to teach you that. So I hope this helps. Use topper diets. Make sure they're made in the USA, the USA flag and that little statement that is sourced and made and packaged in the USA. Look at yesterday's post if you don't know what I'm talking about. And let's start there. And then let me know how we're doing, okay? We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.